Well, hello and welcome to the Internal Mobility Podcast, where we explore all of the ways for you to reach your potential here at Randstad while also making this giant company a little easier to know and understand. Today, our guest is Angie Keller. And Angie, your story is different this time. Last time you were here, you had a different job. Now you're global head of perm for RD. Remind everybody what your journey's been like.
Oh, sure. So I started with Randstad, about 13 years ago, running a market in Houston for Randstad Engineering. I progressed, through Randstad Engineering, so served as both a regional managing director, focused specifically on recruiting for a while as VP of recruiting, jumped back over to the sales side. And then my last job within Randstad Engineering was the president of Randstad Engineering. Always a part of, at that time, Randstad Technologies Group. So I had the connectivity within what was Randstad Technologies, now Randstad Digital, led me to make the jump to the Randstad Digital side beginning this year. And now I'm leading permanent placement for Randstad Digital.
Which brings with it some global responsibility, correct?
Correct. Yeah, so we have two different things that makes it global. So one, we have three different people, including me, that are focused on perm as a concept for Randstad across the world. And then within Randstad Digital, the majority of our perm spend is out of North America. So that's our team, within Randstad Digital in the US, in Canada, and including Sella.
That's amazing. Amazing. It's funny, like you think you get to president and there's not a lot of room for growth, and yet still you've been able to grow.
Oh, there's always room for growth at Randstad, and that's what, makes this such an exciting company. It's like you just have to decide, what does that next step look like for you? And, what are all the different ways that you can get there? And sometimes it's learning about a new line of business or a new segment of our company to take the next step.
Agreed. But why do you think it's hard for people to cross across specialties or segments? What do you think some of the challenges are?
So I think sometimes people just get really comfortable in what they're doing, and maybe they lack the confidence in learning something new. Truly, like if you're going to invest in your career and invest in what's next, you should always be learning and being, willing to change or learn something new. But I think that the worry could be, okay, I've got this knowledge. So for me, it's like I have this knowledge in engineering that I've built up over the last 20 years of my career. How do you make that jump? And being really curious and open to making that jump and learning, a new set of specialties or talent skill sets is not as hard as people think, as long as you've got an open mind and you're willing to dive in and kind of ingest all of the great knowledge of the people around you.
So I know somebody's listening to us right now that is curious. And RD currently has a headcount gap, and you guys are doing some fun things in hiring. Tell the team what you're looking for, where you're looking for, what kind of opportunities RD might have right now.
Okay, so Randstad Digital, so far this year, has been really intentional in investing in bringing people from the outside or even internally in that have really strong expertise in driving our solutions pipeline. And we're doing a great job at that. Additionally, we see that we are seeing some stability in our talent services. So talent services would be your traditional temp and perm staffing, essentially, going to our clients and making sure that we are delivering great people in both temp and perm opportunities. So that's where we're zeroing in on right now, for kind of a headcount push for the second half of the year. So I'd say ideally we're looking to hire people in different business development centers across the US. We are primarily focused right now in looking for individuals that are interested in working hybrid, so probably about 3 days in the office or more in Dallas, in New York, in Seattle, in Tampa, Florida, and in Cleveland, Ohio. So we're looking at both where do our clients have the demand, as well as where do we already have some really great strength in those markets, and we landed on those 5. That doesn't mean that we're not hiring outside of those 5, but that's where we're particularly focused on right now.
It sounds like a lot of energy too, bringing people together in centers, business development centers. Like it kind of gave me chills just now, just the idea of like the team huddled together and really driving a market.
Yeah, and we hear more and more, like when we're together, when we're out in front of our clients, when we're sitting with others that are doing a similar job, you're just advancing that much quicker because you can help each other. You can, pass leads back and forth. You can maybe say something like, oh, did you try this if you're running into either a client or a talent challenge? And then, the more and more we can be out in front of our clients in person, I think the further along we'll be as well.
What's the phrase? Iron sharpens iron, I think.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, me too. What would you say makes RD a great destination for internal mobility candidates in particular?
Definitely our size, the size and strength of the institutional knowledge that we already have. I find myself learning something new every single day. So we have just a team of great people that are really willing to help if you don't know where to go or the answer to something, is like nothing I've ever seen before. The other thing is how we're able to solve our clients' talent challenges is better than I've ever seen it. So we are able to impact, through talent services, which is the core of our business, and do the great things that we always have done. We also have excellent global delivery centers set up that we can get clients talent, access to talent from, and then more expansive managed solutions capabilities than we've had before too. So I think the way that we're looking at the market and the way that we're really reacting to the demands of our client is just exceptional.
And it's being noticed in the external marketplace. I've never had so many people that work for our competitors knocking on my door because they've heard what RD is doing and they want to be a part of it. It's pretty cool.
Yes, and we have these great partnerships with different platform services companies. Like you said, the external market is noticing, like as referenced by Everest Group, even some Gartner data, like just really good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. So a note for anybody that's heard about the opportunities in RD and wants to know where to go. On Connect, you want to go to internal openings and see what's open today. And you can always connect with me or anybody on the TA team, and we'll get you pointed in the right place, even if you're outside of those markets that Angie mentioned. So Angie, before you go, do you have a partner for talent story for us, something that's happened over the last couple of weeks?
You know what? I do. So I recently got a note from a talent, and what I thought was really neat is this talent was placed by Randstad for the very first time in 2006. In 2014, we placed that talent again, and that talent was placed into one of our client companies and became a hiring manager. So we've been used to working with this talent, delivering talent to the talent that we placed. And then recently, he found himself as a victim of a corporate restructure and immediately came back to Randstad again. And we have him in some final interviews where he will again be a hiring manager. And, I knew him, so he had reached out to me and told me what a great experience he has had over, really the last part of 15 years. And we want to continue that. And he shared with me that he never even thought about talking to another agency and finding him a new opportunity because we've always been able to help him out, whether he's the client or he's the talent. So I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah, I would say it's a perfect partner for talent, like partner for generations. It sounds like decades is probably the better word, but wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if we can give someone a great talent experience and they later turn into a hiring manager, and then we have the opportunity to benefit them as a talent again, there's nothing better. And, it was across several different teams within Randstad that we've both supported or placed this talent. So I think that's pretty great.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.